I'm going to ask you three questions, and if you answer yes to all three of them, then most likely you love yourself. Are your thoughts usually positive when you're by yourself? Number two, do you have any aspirations that you're trying to chase? And number three, do you feel better when you achieve a goal that you have set for yourself other than the validation you get from others? If you get 3 out of 3, then you can click off this video because it won't really help you that much. But if you want to stay, you can. But if you didn't get 3 out of 3, you got less than 3 out of 3, then make sure to stay to the end of this video because I'll help you get 3 out of 3 by the end of this video. Now, today I'm just going to be explaining the journey on how I learned to love myself. And this is coming from my experience. We are all different people, so this might not apply to you guys, but this is kind of the methods that I have used that made me love myself. And it isn't just going to be some bullshit like working out made me feel better. Of course it did, but I'm not going to make it so generic. I want to go in detail. So this is going to be the full guide on how to love yourself. Now, first, we kind of got to ask a pretty stupid question. Why is loving ourselves important? Now, this question might be deemed pretty stupid by a bunch of people, but it is very important. Now, let me start. Before I started my self-improvement journey, most of my happiness came from the validation I got from others, just like any other teen. You know, every other teen always loves getting validation from others. And I kind of had that empower over the achievements I got. For example, if I got a good grade on my test, I wouldn't be as happy as when I get the validation from others. And I really started disconnecting myself to my true self. And it sounds kind of weird, but I didn't really connect to myself. You know, I didn't really talk to myself much. And all I really thought of was getting the validation from others, again, like every other teen. Basically, not connecting with myself as much as I connect to other people made me pretty insecure. It made me very anxious, very insecure. I cared a lot about what other people think of me since the source of happiness for me was the validation from others. I really wanted people to like me, just like every other teen. Now, when I started self-improvement, one thing I really noticed on how I started loving myself was that I connected deeply with myself. Now, this came from meditation, this came from journaling, and most importantly, this came from taking walks. Now, it's not like a traditional walk. It's not like you walking around the neighborhood, looking at nature, going on your phone sometimes, putting music to your ears with AirPods like this. But it is just to absorb nature and talk to yourself. Talking to yourself has to be one of the most important things when walking. You have to connect deeply with yourself in order to kind of build that self-love. Building self-love is building self-connection within yourself. So if you have time right now, make sure to go outside and take a walk and connect deeply with yourself. Talk with yourself, talk about your future with yourself, talk about the problems you have right now, just to kind of let go of all the stress that you have put on yourself. And this has helped me a lot, bro. It has helped me a lot to loving myself more. Now, connecting with yourself is a great way to love yourself. However, your mental and physical health also heavily dictates on how you perceive yourself. So, what I would do is I would start working out just for the self-image. It's pretty self-explanatory that working out is going to be very good for you, but it's very hard to start working out. I know a lot of people have been there where they want to work out, but they just don't have the motivation or the discipline to work out. But just start working out. It's the best advice. I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to go way too in depth. You can watch my other videos on how to start getting motivated for working out, but you need to start incorporating some weightlifting in your life. It really helps your body image, helps your physical image, which therefore kind of reflects your mental health. You know, a good-looking person would most likely have a better mental health than a person that doesn't look the best, who doesn't really take care of themselves. So yeah, when I started working out, my body image improved. I used to be a pretty lean and skinny kid, and I didn't really like that. So I started working out. I started getting a better body. I'm more muscular now. Definitely not, the physique that I really want right now, not the dream body that I want, but still, I've improved massively. I've grown so much, and it has really highlighted the journey that I've gone through, the hardships I've gone through, and just how impressive it's been. So make sure to start working out because physical image really dictates your mental health. Now that I've gone through the physical and mental part of how to love yourself, how do I stop seeking validation from others? Now, this was a big problem with me when I was 13 and early 14, and it really took me a while to stop doing that. But when I started my self-improvement journey, I still love the validation from others, which again is a completely human thing. As human creatures, we thrive socially. We can't just thrive without talking to anybody. It wouldn't be a good life. You need at least some sort of social life. Now, the number one thing that I would recommend when you start your journey of loving yourself is just to cut off every single fake friend. Don't give them the validation because all they want is the materialistic stuff. Food, favors, you helping them do their homework. So yeah, stop giving them the attention and they're going to make you feel like shit. You're going to help them with everything, but they turn on your back. They don't help you with anything. Sometimes they would say rude remarks. It's pretty horrible. Just cut them off. Stop talking to them. You can still talk to them, but just don't interact with them as much as you did. And don't try to seek the validation from them because they're probably not ever going to give you validation ever again. That's just how it is. If you have a fake friend, it's very, very hard to try to gain the validation back from them. And even if you try as hard as you can and you kind of gain their validation back, they're still not going to like you as much as your best friends. So stop giving the validation to all the fake people out there. Start giving the validation to your best friends and also to some of the mutual friends that you're good friends with. And that kind of value you too, but you two are not that close. So yeah, cutting off these fake friends is also a good exercise on how you can focus on yourself independently. You don't constantly need the validation from them in order to thrive off your life. You can become more independent. You can work by yourself. You can be yourself without trying to attract other people or gravitate other people towards yourself. So, I would recommend, just completely cutting off these fake friends. It really also trains your independence too. There's really no benefit on having any fake friends. Alright, so this is going to be a video. I'm sorry if my voice sounds kind of weird in this video. I'm kind of sick. I have a mild cold. But if you enjoyed this video or you learned something or you learned some values from this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because I guarantee you that my other videos will help even more. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a videos, and I'm going to see you guys next one.